Hello, Chris Lucas here again with another super sweet video tutorial. Last time I did a tutorial, it was just about how to mix drums, but since people seem to like that, and I just did this song, 2 months ago, did this song and mixed the whole thing, I figured I'd do a video on how to mix all the other parts of it, since they are also important. So to start out with any mix, I usually want to listen to the bass. Bass isn't always the most audible, but I would argue it's the most important, because if it's not there and it's not solid and doesn't fill out the guitar, everything sounds like cock. So to start out, this is what it sounds like with nothing on it. So it sounds like kind of floppy donkey dick, but that's kind of the point. So what I want to do is I make a copy of it. So these two tracks right here are exact copies of each other. They're just a duplicate. And then on the first one, I'll do an EQ like that. And then on the second one, I'll do an EQ like this. So one is all low end and one is all the high end. And on the low end one, I compress it to hell like this. That's about as compressed as you can get. And then on the high one, I also compress it to hell, but then I put some distortion on it. Nothing too fucking brutes for this, just because it didn't feel right. But I use a Decapitator, my favorite plugin. And it sounds like this with and without that. Makes it all gritty and angry and brutes and shit, which is cool. So then I'll go to guitar. So these guitars, I rendered the amplitude on them because it was slowing down my computer, but apparently now it's still running. So here's what the settings are like. It's just tube screamer thing into Mesa looking thing into 412 Mesa looking thing with SM57 and a R121. Yeah. And then no, this is not on. So then both of the tracks have that. So this is what the guitars sound like. Let's go to a more fun part. So if you listen to that, you're like, that's cool, but it doesn't really fill out. So that's why with the bass, it really fills out. If you listen. So as you can see, really fills out the low end, really sounds bitchin'. Like I said, bass is really important. So after guitar, it's hard to describe how to get good guitar tone, by the way. Like, and I don't want to put a preset of amplitude or anything, because if anything was different in the song, my settings would be different. It's like whatever sounds good, and eventually you kind of get an idea of what sounds good and what doesn't. And this guitar tone isn't like exceptional. Amplitude isn't great, but it works fine for this. So from there, I'm going to go to the vocal tracks. Now, vocal tracks are interesting, especially in this song, because there's singing and there's screaming, and there's combinations of singing and screaming. So let's start with just the screamy part. So this is the first screamy part. Now, here, let me play you the screamy part without anything on it. It's going to sound funny. 1, 2, 3, let's go! So as you can see, that doesn't sound the way we want it to. So what I do is first on the chain of just that one track, first of all, I've got virtual channel and everything, because fuck yeah. And then I'll go RVox, compression. 1, 2. All right, and then I'll do de-esser, because the S's are pretty loud in this, and then I'll do a little bit of Decapitator, which I use. Let me show you the difference with and without it. 1, 2, 3, let's go! So it adds a little bit of grit, makes it a little thicker, is the best way to describe what that plugin does. And then after that, I have it all bust the same vocal bus. All the vocal tracks are bust the same vocal bus to kind of glue them together a little bit. And also have a little bit of a gate for any little noises and shit that are in the tracks. So then what I'll do also is I create separate buses for a delay for the vocals and a verb for the vocals. So delay would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, let's go! So I like to... Okay, I like to pan it back and forth. I used to pan it like 180 both directions, but that actually ends up being really annoying when you listen to it. So I kind of tone it down, and I just do it on half notes. It looks like these should be half notes. Yeah. So you just sing it a tempo, no big deal. And then you usually roll off the super high end so it doesn't start cluttering up high end. And you also roll off, yeah, I rolled off even more low end than I normally would. Apparently I didn't EQ these vocals, which is fine. I mean, that's weird. I didn't, but all right, sound fine. So then let's go. Then I have verb. I use a plate on this. 1, 2, 3, let's go! So it adds a little depth to it, I guess, and it sounds pretty good. So then on the clean vocals, what I did, so here's some clean vocals, is again, they're all bussed to the same bus. So on the vocals, I started with a RVox, like usual, into a de-esser, also like usual, into EQ, rolled off a lot of low end, little mid-range boost, super high-end boost. I'll show you, I know it looks retarded, but I'll show you the difference with and without it. Seeing my wasted years continue on a path unclear. It's kind of brittle sounding up front without anything, but with everything. I feel like it works. So, and then similar things for all the different tracks. I pan them just the way they were. They're doubled, and I just left each double in stereo. They're not a duplicate of each other. These are actual stereo takes, I think. And I just left them panned out. And then there's like the screamy part, I think, under it. And for the that screamy track, I did probably the same thing. Yeah, I did the same thing I did on the other one. So then I'll go through the verb and the delay. So in the real track, it sounds like. Delay owns. All right, so I think that's it. Oh, really quick, there's an extra guitar part. It's panned up the center. It's in a few different parts, and I just use amplitude on it again. Nothing big, and I pan it center. It's a little quiet, just by the nature of it, and it sounds like this. So it's an important part. It's subtle, but it's important. Kind of makes the guitars cooler. And then for the solo, a little mini solo in each of the choruses. Just a different EQ, because I was fucking around and I tried that EQ, and then some compression again, smooth it out. And then the actual solo, I just did, it's basically the same settings, maybe a little bit of a high boost, and then it's delay and stuff in amplitude. This delay, you can do that, and then an EQ, or sorry, compression, and then EQ, roll off low end, stuff like that. That sounds pretty cool. And then it's also bussed a little bit to the drum reverb because it sounds cool. So then the last thing is the mastering chain. Again, these are all inactive. This is not the mastered version. If you're wondering why this doesn't sound super loud like the video, it's because this is just the raw mix version. It would be some linear EQ, just a little bit of a low end boost, a little bit of high end boost, a little bit of cut in the mids, I think. Actually, a little bit of boost in the mids. Just a little boost here and there, like no more than 2 dB. Then ozone for harmonic exciter thing that I used in the drum tutorial video, and then slate for volume limiting, clipping, all that fun stuff. So anyway, that's it. Hope you've learned something. Again, this is a pretty basic metal mix. It's not a lot of tracks, not a lot except for vocally going on, and I intentionally didn't do a whole ton of like bussing and plugins, and I know this seems like a lot of plugins, maybe, but it's not. Try to keep it simple, see if I could keep it simple and make it cool and sound good. So if you kind of want an idea of what to do, this is a really good, like, general ideas. Again, these aren't rules. You can do whatever you want, whatever works. But if you're trying to look for a place to start, again, this is a great place to start. So I hope you learned something. I hope you've learned something, rather. And if I'm doing anything retarded, please tell me. I would love to not be doing things retarded. So, yeah. Peace.